Jupiter's atmosphere heats up under solar wind. This is by NASA. Recent finding. Scientists used red, blue, yellow to infuse this infrared image of Jupiter's atmosphere. Red and yellow indicate hotter regions, which was recorded by the cooled mid-infrared camera and spectrograph, COMICS for short, at the Subaru telescope on the Mount of Mauna Kea in Hawaii, January 12, 2017. This is by an article by NASA, and these are NASA images. New Earth-based telescope observations show that the auroras at Jupiter's poles are heating the planet's atmosphere to a greater depth than previously thought, and that it is a rapid response to the solar wind. The solar wind impact at Jupiter is an extreme example of space weather. This was what James Sinclair of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Pasadena, California, explains. He led the research. It was published April 8, just a couple of weeks ago, in Nature Astronomy. And he says, we are seeing the solar wind having an effect deeper than is normally seen. Auroras at Earth's poles, known as the Aurora Borealis in the North Pole and Aurora Australis at the South Pole, occur when the energetic particles blown out from the sun, that is the solar wind, interact with and heat up the gases in the upper atmosphere. The same thing happens at Jupiter, and the new observations show the heating goes 2 to 3 times deeper down into its atmosphere than on Earth, into the lower level of Jupiter's upper atmosphere or stratosphere. This image here has to do now with Jupiter's stratosphere temperatures. These infrared images recorded by the cooled mid-infrared camera and spectrograph COMICS at the Subaru telescope at the summit of Mauna Kea in Hawaii. This is again a NASA image, and you can see from the right to the left, the first one on the left, January 11th, about 3:30 in the afternoon, and the next date, January 12th, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 22 hours later. You can see the difference in the South Pole here, definitely. And then the same day, January 12th, about 4 hours after that, there was more activity in the north as it flares up, as you can see. Now, understanding how the sun's constant outpouring of solar wind interacts with planetary environments is key to better understanding the very nature of how planets and their atmospheres evolve. What is startling about the results is that we were able, they say, to associate the first time the variations in solar wind and the response in the stratosphere, and that the response to those variations is so quick for such a large area. Within a day of the solar wind hitting Jupiter, the chemistry in its atmosphere changed and its temperature rose. The team found an infrared image captured during their observation campaign January, February, and May of 2017 clearly showed hot spots near the poles where Jupiter's auroras are. The scientists based their findings on observations by the Subaru telescope atop the summit of Mauna Kea in Hawaii, which is operated by the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan. The telescope's cooled mid-infra camera and spectrograph, COMICS for short, recoded in the thermal images captured areas of higher and lower temperatures of Jupiter's atmosphere, the stratosphere. And they said such heating and chemical reactions may tell us something about other planets with harsh environments and even early Earth. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.